The Major League Baseball All-Star Game last night. National League wins 3-2. It was a 2-1 game going into the 8th inning, and Elias Diaz of the Colorado Rockies hitting a 2-run shot off of Felix Bautista of the Baltimore Orioles, and that's the way the National League won their first All-Star Game in 11 years. How about that? So congratulations to the National League, which, who knows, based on all the news coming out of Seattle, that expansion might be coming to Major League Baseball, and the leagues themselves might get mixed up and all of that business. Lots of change coming to the world of Major League Baseball. Last night, game time, 3 hours and 3 minutes. There was a pitch clock in the game last night. That did start. I loved it. I'll be straight up with you. I loved the way it started with Garrett Cole giving up 2 shots in the first inning, one snagged by Randy Rosarena. And let's just put it this way. When the All-Star Game starts with leaping catches into the fence by both corner outfielders, that's cool. A neat way to start it. And then cool. A stolen base, caught stealing, right?
Yep.
Sean
Murphy.
You don't run on Sean Murphy, apparently. That was a fun way for the first inning to start. We've got a little bit of fireworks. Mm-hmm. And that was your Midsummer Classic. Shohei Ohtani with 2 at-bats. He didn't put the ball in play once. One was a walk, one was a strikeout. That's unfortunate. Yep. What else did I get out of it? Oh, the overturned home run. We saw an overturned home run last night. I liked, by the way.
Did you bring into the uniforms?
Let me just talk about that. I understand what Major League Baseball is attempting to do. Every sport does it with uniforms. They want to create something that you, as a consumer of their sport, will purchase, whether it's for yourself or it's for your child that's sitting there saying, Dad or Mom, whatever the case may be. You know, that's cool. Yeah. And then all of a sudden you make a mental note, you get it for the kid's birthday, or you save it for the holidays or something like that. I understand that's what it's for. Trust me, I have covered color rush games for the NFL. If you remember those where it was the Rams against the Buccaneers, and it looked like ketchup versus mustard. You remember that?
Yep.
It was as if a ketchup bottle was going against a mustard bottle. And it's just like, okay, who the hell's going to buy an all-mustard uniform? So I understand what these leagues are going for. But I want to see, like a United Nations gathering, a Benetton commercial. I want to see everybody in their uniforms, home and away. Yeah. The American League would have had a home uniform on, and instead, you know, you're seeing their caps, and you can't even tell what team it is because the caps aren't the colors of their original team. So it's all just one big mishmash of colors that you don't normally see them wearing, and I can't stand it. The NFL did that too, right? They started creating uniforms specifically for the Pro Bowl and red, white, and blue or stuff like that. Yeah.
And the NBA did it. The one year the NBA had the players wear their own jerseys, and I thought that was great.
That's
one
the way
team
it
was
should
in dark.
be. It's the way it always was. You know?
Yeah, this is, and the pants, just the all black pants on the NL team with a little logo on the hip. Like, it was so confusing.
You can't tell who's which one. You can't tell. Certainly, since so many of these stars, as you pointed out yesterday when we were asking how many Hall of Famers are in the lineups tonight prior to yesterday's game.
Not many.
Well, you said that there's a lot of young stars.
Young stars.
So there's a lot of young stars. There are a ton of Texas Rangers and Baltimore Orioles that were in this game, and they're young stars that a lot of folks don't know. And can anybody tell which team these guys are on? Put them on the, I don't know. And the other thing, too, about last night, that I did notice, and then I'll get to a couple things of positive notes that I like because I'm a glass half full guy. I'm a baseball guy. The introductions. You used to when you were introduced in an All-Star game, if you were reserve, you just ran out to the baseline of your side and you'd step forward with your names announced and wave your hat. Mm-hmm. And then if you were a starter, you came running out of the dugout. And then you stood in your spot on the line and you waved. Last night, baseball decided to have a carpet from the right center field bullpen fence all the way in, and they announced team by team. It took a half an hour. So for a sport that was so about selling themselves on pace of play, it took a half an hour to introduce everybody. And they were running in, like it was a brawl. I'm coming in from the pen. It took a half an hour, and I was just like, can we get to the game already? And then when the game started, you got a sense that these guys wanted to win. You really did. And I really enjoyed the fun competition of it. Yep. And I thought Fox did a great job. I mean, miking up Freddie Freeman and Mookie Betts. Although the unfortunate part about that is we were listening to Mookie and Freddie Freeman have byplay when Ohtani's up there. And, and we're listening to this when Zach Gallen, who's an incredible pitcher, and that nasty pitch he struck Ohtani out on. Like, I would have liked to have focused in on that a little bit, but hearing Freddie Freeman is just an absolute delight. When he told Arozarena when Arozarena singled, and he told him, you got to choose one thing or the other. You can't steal a hit and get a hit. You got to choose one. That's funny. That was funny. And then I want to talk about a bold choice. How about Nate Eovaldi saying, I will wear a wire and an earpiece while I'm pitching in an All-Star game?
It's cool.
And so he's hearing like Joe Davis go, it's a 2-1 pitch. Like he's hearing the narration of his pitching while he's pitching.
But Del Tufo, can they turn that off?
Yes, but they don't. Joe doesn't.
They don't.
They leave it on.
For the pitcher?
Yeah.
Oh, the pitcher was hearing. He was hearing everything. And the neat part about it is I think Joe Davis stopped doing that when Eovaldi had a couple runners on base. Yeah. But then he started talking pitch strategy with Smoltz.
That's cool.
Smoltz like, what are you going to throw here? And you could sort of hear himself also say to himself when he threw a first pitch strike, I forget to who, he's like, finally got ahead of somebody. So you're hearing he like shared his inner monologue with us.
But that's what this game is for now.
I loved it.
It doesn't,
Dude, I loved
World
it.
Series home field not on the line. Let's kind of mess around and have some fun and innovate a little bit.
I've never seen a pitcher mic'd up with an earpiece in while he's actually pitching. Yeah. And if Eovaldi started giving up hit after hit, and he's, what are you going to mic him up and talk to him as he's being taken out of an All-Star game? Like you have to, right? You're running risks as a broadcast, but also as the pitcher. It's a bold choice, and he didn't give up any runs. Yeah. That was one of the most impressive performances I've ever seen in an All-Star game. I'm a pitcher, so that was fun. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.